International Criminal Court was in and of itself a new tidal force that changed the status quo of the world for the better. 2 decades after the Rome Conference, the system of international criminal justice created by the Rome Statute continues to make significant waves towards building a culture of accountability for atrocity crimes. The statute has set the course, and the ICC is moving ahead with dedication and determination. The support and encouragement of its many proponents and the plight of victims of atrocity crimes are the driving force which propel it forward. Whilst not bereft of challenges, its work in practice is increasingly shaping norms, casting a deterrent shadow across the globe. Our commemorative activities today and in different capitals offer a unique opportunity to pay homage to the Rome Statute and to reflect on our responsibilities, our methods, and means at our disposal to ensure the enduring value of this important international legal instrument to humanity. We are all crew members with the same mission and determination in mind, albeit with different functions, and we need all hands on deck to face the challenges inherent in the fight against impunity for the world's gravest crimes. We must consider our respective but reinforcing roles with commitment, with resolve and resourcefulness, and with only one goal in mind: seeking the truth and ensuring that justice is effectively done and that it is seen to be done. The court will do its part by forging ahead with its core mandated activities, with independence and utmost integrity, on the strength of the efforts of its devoted staff, by continuously assessing and, as needed, improving its working methods, policies, and strategies, and by advancing the efficiency of its criminal proceedings in accordance with the highest standards of judicial administration and full respect for due process guarantees, and ultimately ensuring that the victims of atrocity crimes have their day in court. This, it may be clear, is not an easy task, given the complex environments in which the court operates, with strict legal criteria and thresholds, large-scale criminality and insecurity on the ground, changing political climates with dwindling resource capacity and varying degrees of cooperation, and, overall, ever-increasing demands for the court's intervention. As it undertakes the mandate, the court must be allowed the proper space to focus on its duties, free from unwarranted resistance. Attacks on the court to undermine its important work or in the service of Machiavellian schemes to shield the culpable must continue to be met with the determined and unequivocal voices of support from principal state parties and civil society who stand without reserve or distinction by international criminal justice. Indeed, we are on this journey together. Each of us here today has a responsibility to ensure we don't disappoint the victims embroiled in devastating conflicts all over the world, past or present, who have been looking with hope at the ICC's establishment and evolution. Hope that the cold calculus of international politics does not abandon them, or worse, undermine humanity's shared values and common yearning for peace, stability, and the protective embrace of the law from the world's gravest crimes. Your Excellency, Your Excellencies, dear friends and colleagues, the velocity of changes has been fixed towards a more enlightened path for humanity. The Rome Statute is a critical instrument of that progressive change in the modern era. As we commemorate the 20th anniversary of the adoption of the Rome Statute, we owe it to ourselves, our children, and future generations to fully support and nurture the ever-evolving international criminal justice system and the ICC as its central pillar. A more rule-based global order where mass atrocities are checked through the force of the law and the progress of humanity demand it. Today is yet another opportunity to recommit to the Rome Statute and in so doing, declare the era of mass atrocities as merely continuation of politics by other means, that it's over. We must be unwavering in our resolve to create a world that seeks justice for atrocity crimes, universally applied and blindly applied. Let the Rome Statute continue to guide us towards that better future for all. And I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Prosecutor, for your very inspiring speech containing those very apt imageries about from the law of physics and movement of ships in turbulent waters. So indeed it is for the ICC in turbulent times. Before we conclude the opening session, it is fitting for us to recall that on the eve of the adoption of the Rome Statute in 1998, President Nelson Mandela reminded the world that there had been enough horrors that human beings had visited unto their fellows. He observed that many of those horrors could have been avoided or at least minimized if there had been an effective functioning international criminal court. No doubt, the brand of horrors of which he spoke would readily include atrocities like the Holocaust, like the genocide against Tutsis in Rwanda, ethnic cleansing in the former Yugoslavia, and indeed apartheid as a crime against humanity committed in South Africa. And we must not forget the incidence of sexual violence that is a notorious feature of armed conflict. We now have in place that ICC that Mandela had wished for. I invite all of us, as all the speakers who have spoken have done, to use this occasion of reflections to return to the basic vision of what the world sought to achieve in building this normative and physical edifice of accountability. Let us ensure that allegations of the most serious crimes are met with a robust, fair, and impartial judicial response at the international level as a last resort, where national systems prove unable or unwilling to give victims their day in court. Let us make sure that we do not let down those who worked so hard to make the Statute of the International Criminal Court a reality. Though adopted 20 years ago, the dream that culminated in that event started over 50 years before. In our own turn, then, we may even permit ourselves to dream to improve the edifice in other ways that make the world a better place for humanity. Listening to the speech of His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, as the champion of anti-corruption desires from the African continent, I cannot help but recall on a recent visit I had to Ecuador, His Excellency President Lenin Moreno and his officials enthused also the dream of an ICC that should also prosecute cases of grand corruption executed at a scale the effects of which are capable of approximating the human costs of violent crimes against humanity. Now, I merely report that wish that he registered with an open mind. The decision, of course, to amend the Rome Statute to allow that manner of jurisdiction to the ICC belongs to states. If given that jurisdiction, my colleagues and I would readily exercise it. Je clôture maintenant cette séance avec la fervente demande que nous assurions tous ensemble que l'esprit de Rome perdure de façon à ce que les responsables des crimes qui choquent la conscience de l'humanité ne restent pas impunis au vu de toutes les affreuses conséquences qu'ils ont pour être humains. Thank you all very much. The session is now adjourned.
All rise.